Well, hello, welcome back. This is Compromise Corruption, Blackmail. Oh no. This place looks familiar. The Beatles. Here's a question from Playboy. When did you know that you had really hit it big? There must have been one night when you knew it. had really begun. John says, well, we'd been playing round in Liverpool for a bit without getting anywhere, trying to get work, and the other groups kept telling us, you'll do all right, you'll get work someday. And then we went to Hamburg, and when we came back, suddenly we were, wow, mind you, 70% of the audience thought we were German. Wow. But we didn't care about that, Paul. We were billed in the proper from Hamburg, the Beatles. John, in Liverpool, people didn't even know we were from Liverpool. They thought we were from Hamburg. They said, Christ, they speak good English, which we did, of course, being English. But that's when we first, stood there being cheered for the first time. Paul, that was when we felt we were. John, on the way up. Paul, gonna make it in Liverpool. Playboy, how much were you earning then? For that particular night, $20 a piece for the group. Hell, we used to work for a lot less than that. What kind of families do you come from? George, well, not rich, just working class. They've got jobs, just work. Playboy, what does your father do? George, well, he doesn't do anything now. He used to be a bus driver in the merchant navy. Do you have any sisters or brothers, George? I've got 2 brothers and no sisters to speak of. How about you, Paul? I've got 1 brother and a father who used to be a cotton salesman down in New Orleans. That's probably why I look a bit tanned. But seriously, folks, he occasionally had trouble paying bills, but it was never, never go out and pick blackberries, son. We're a bit short this week. How about you, John? Oh, just the same. I used to have an auntie, and I had a dad whom I couldn't quite find. Ringo. John lived with the Mounties. Yeah, the Mounties. They fed me well. No starvation. The problem is that you don't seem to be like real people. You're Beatles. I know, it's very funny that. It's all the publicity. We're taken in by it too, because we react exactly the same way to the stars we meet. When we meet people we've seen on the telly or in films, we still think, wow. It's a good thing because we still get just as tickled. The thing is that people, when they see you on TV and in magazines and up in a film and hear you on the radio, they never expect to meet you. Even our fans. Their wish is to meet you, but in the back of their mind, they never think they're actually gonna meet us. And so, when they do meet us, they just don't believe it. Do any of the rest of you have plans to settle down? I haven't got any. Ringo and I aren't getting married. Oh, to Ringo and I are getting married. Oh, to whom? To each other. But that's a thing you better keep a secret. You better not tell anybody. I mean, if we said something like that, people would probably think we're queers. After all, that's not the sort of thing you can put in a reputable magazine like Playboy. And anyway, we don't want to start the rumor going. People were also overturning cars and breaking shop windows. But all this had nothing to do with your show? Well, it's vaguely related, I suppose. It's got something to do with it, in as much as the crowds happen to be there because of our show. But nobody who's got a bit of common sense would seriously think that if 15-year-old girls are going around smashing shop windows on account of us. Certainly not. Those girls are 8 years old. This talk of violence leads to a related question. Do you guys think there'll be another war soon? Yeah, Friday. I hope not. Not just after we've got our money through the taxes. The trouble is, if they do start another war, and everybody goes with you. Would you like to... Oh, never mind. Is there any celebrity you would like to meet? I wouldn't mind meeting Adolf Hitler. You could have every room in your house papered. Would you like to meet Princess Margaret? We have. How do you like her? Okay, and Philip's okay too. Even after what he supposedly said about you? I don't care what he said. I still think he's okay. He didn't say nothing about me personally. Even if he had said things about us, it doesn't make him worse, you know. Speaking of royalty, royalty never condemns anything unless it's something that they know everybody else condemns. If I was royal, I would crack long jokes and get a mighty laugh. If I was royal. What would we do with Buckingham Palace? Royalty's stupid. You guys seem to be pretty irreverent characters. Are any of you churchgoers? No, not particularly. But we're not anti-religious. We probably seem to be anti-religious because of the fact that none of us believe in God. If you say you don't believe in God, everybody assumes you're anti-religious. And you probably think that's what we mean by that. We're not quite sure what we are, but I know that we're more agnostic than atheistic. Yep. Have you heard about the Playboy Club that's opening in London? Yes, I've heard about it. What do you think of our clubs? They're for dirty old men, not for likes of us, dirty young men. They're for businessmen that sneak out without their wives knowing, or if their wives sneak out first, for those who go out openly. There's no real fun in a bunny's fluffy tail. Then you don't think a club will make it here? Oh yes, of course it will. There's enough dirty old men here. Have you ever read the magazine? Yes. I get my copy every month. Tits. Do you read philosophy? Philosophy, any of you? Did you know that you're probably the first public figures to have dolls made of them? Except maybe Yogi Berra. In Jellystone Park, do you mean the cartoon? No, didn't you know that the cartoon character is based on a real person? Yogi Berra, the baseball player? Oh, didn't you know that? I didn't know that. Well, they're making us into a cartoon too in the States. It's a series. The highest achievement you could ever get. We feel proud and humble. Do you know, George, that at the corner of 47th Street and Broadway in New York, there is a giant cutout of you on display? Of me? Life size? Nude? No, but the reason we mention it is that this is really a signal honor. For years on that corner, There's been a big store with life-size cutouts of Marilyn Monroe, Anita Ekberg, or Jane Mansfield in the window. And now it's George. The only difference is they've got bigger tits. I suppose that's one way of putting it. The party's getting rough. I'm going to go to bed. You carry on though. I'll just stuff my ears with cotton so as not to hear the insults and the smutty language. That's it. Good night. I gotta figure out a way to get into talk to this guy. Here, I'll call him. That'll be the next part. See you later.